What's up, motherfuckers? Welcome back to Wasted Attention. Today you've got Animal and JD on the mics. We are going to be doing the great Slipknot versus Mudvayne debate. Today is June 1st, 2019. What the fuck is up, JD?
Shit.
Nothing.
Happy birthday, Ivan.
Happy
Whoop,
birthday
whoop.
to Ivan. Woo woo. He's not here. That's how popular he is. He's probably like out in like one of those like Asian parlors where like you lay naked and then like the women eat the food off of you like as a power move.
Yeah, and then you get that happy ending.
There you go. Well, you already have like the moistness on you. You know what I mean? From the meat.
For sure.
So it's like natural, you know? I don't know in 2019 if you can still do that. I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to look into that. Fact check this. So what we wanted to do today is JD and I often talk about Slipknot versus Mudvayne. Who's better? Who had more, let's just say, healthier hits? Who has...
Is that how you want to classify it, though?
Healthy?
Healthy?
I guess. What do you think?
Well, I think what really brought this up is probably when I was trying to listen to Slipknot last week, because obviously the new shit's coming out. We just heard that new Unsainted song, saw some stuff. So we'll get into that later, but it made me go back because I really don't listen to Slipknot at all.
Right.
And I think I just grown out of it, period. So
yeah. It's true. You know, it's kind of... and just to warn everybody out here that our opinions may seem harsh. We know that we're fucking nobodies, but I think we've, put enough time and effort into this scene. So I think our opinions are valid. And if you don't like them, unfortunately,
fuck yourself.
Whoa!
Well, what do you want me to do? I don't know what to tell you. If you don't like us, you don't like our opinion. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's just like your opinion, man.
That's just like your opinion, man. I don't know. Like, it's one thing to shit on people just to shit on people, but if you have like a decent criticism or...
True.
Obviously, we're passionate about the shit we like look into and listen to, so...
That's right.
It all comes from a place of love.
It does.
It's just that love turned to hate for me. I don't know what to tell you.
I gotcha. No, I understand. Okay.
Oh, there's some stuff to get into, but yeah.
Well, let's do it, man. Let's jump right in.
You got the notes. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. I really wanted to prepare myself. Animal really just kind of goes by the moment, and unfortunately in something like this I feel like I had to have been prepared because there's a big catalog we have to go through for both bands. So I don't want to miss any little crevice, nook, or cranny.
See, not only did you have notes, you got like details, like facts and notes.
Yes.
You Wikipedia'd this shit, right?
I did. I Wikipedia'd all this. So all of the factual information was pulled from Wikipedia. Everything else is just our own experiences. You know
what? Like you're the guy that's on top of your shit. You're really well thought out. Red's like that too. He's kind of more off the cuff, but he's got a good way of like presenting shit.
Right.
Me and Ivan, I think we just like to wheel it, like wing it. You know what I mean? He's a little bit more. He's a little bit better at it with his notes and shit. So
that's true.
He's more.
You're prepared too. I
just direct shit. I don't know. I react to things. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're a good person to go off of what that one subject is. You're the person to kind of come up from behind and be like, no, fuck you. This is why you're wrong. This is why this is happening.
The asshole of the group.
Yes, I love it. Everybody has to have one, right?
You should have one.
Yeah, we can get into some really weird science fiction
Some
stuff
people
later.
don't have assholes.
That's true.
It don't work out very well. All right, so what you got for your beginning here?
So the beginning is I just kind of wanted to give you
background information.
Background, exactly. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. Mudvayne formed in 1996 in, where did they form?
Peoria.
Good job. Yes, sir. To date, they have sold over 6 million records worldwide.
That's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't have the number as far as the Slipknot catalog goes because I found varying information.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a direct number to spit out at you, but we'll just both agree right now that Slipknot's worldwide selling is
way more, right?
Right. But
what was some of the numbers you did see at all?
What I had seen was over 20 million units. Then I saw one that said 15 million. Then I saw like one that said 8.5.
See,
it's hard.
The 15 and 20 seems crazy to me.
I agree. But they're super popular now.
But even then, like these last few albums, we've been in a fucking streaming age for how long?
That's true.
I don't know.
Not too long.
I see it being more than Mudvayne, because Mudvayne's been fucking done for about 10 years now.
Yes, they have.
So hopefully they come back soon. Stop fucking around with that hell yeah shit.
Oh, we'll get to that. So obviously we know that Slipknot formed in 1995 where...
Is it actually Des Moines?
Des Moines. It is actually
specifically?
Des Moines. It's specifically Des Moines, Iowa. The group was founded by Sean, Joey, and Paul. I did not know that. I knew that Joey was there from the beginning, but I didn't know that Sean and Paul were also.
Because I think I read in Corey's book, he ended up coming obviously later because they had that first singer too. I forget all about him.
Is it Anders or Anders?
It's a hard on, so I'm gonna say Anders.
Anders, yeah.
Workaholics joke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey-o.
There you go.
Fully torqued right now.
Tight buttholes, gentlemen.
You know, the thing about this band is Slipknot was such a different beast when they first came out. Now, I know you did your research, but did you happen to listen to any of that MFKR?
I remember
album?
jamming on it back in the day when we used to all get together and,
That's right.
when we had our little band thing going.
Yeah, and you dug it, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there was some cool shit. It was different, but I liked it.
Right.
I forget. It must have been maybe in Ivan's car driving around the Camaro or something.
Probably. He was in love with that, man. Definitely.
Yeah, that must have been the first time I heard it. Him or Brian.
Yeah.
Dare who not speak his name.
I think it was Ivan, because Ivan really he went through a phase where he was like, this is the real Slipknot. And it's interesting because it had such like obviously it had that eerie feel, but it almost, dare I say, had an industrial feel to it.
Well, I remember liking their version of Gently.
Yes.
Because I'd heard Iowa before that, the album version. So going back, I was like, what? It sounds vaguely familiar, but I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was a burned CD. We had no track listing.
Exactly. It was more raw. The original version of it, man. For some reason, Anders always reminded me of Gigi Allen, just by the looks of him. I don't know why. I just thought that's how it was. But
Did he shit on everybody?
he shat all over everybody. I just saw his funeral service was on YouTube.
What?
You know what? Under the stuff that's recommended for you, I went through like a very, very fast Gigi Allen phase, and they actually had his somebody uploaded the home video of his funeral service.
Did it catch the dude from CKY pissing on his grave?
No,
You never heard that
I
story?
never heard that story.
It was on. I heard it on the Josta show. So
Oh, okay.
take that for what you will.
Right. No, I never knew about that. I went in and did research on it. The bereaved did not want anything done to Gigi's body. So in the casket, he was super bloated and decomposing, and they're just all sitting around drinking around him, and he was in his undies and the leather jacket and stuff. It really made me uncomfortable, and I like morbid kind of stuff, but that was too much for me.
Well, you kind of deal with it like on a daily basis, you would say, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You've had some low moments in
Exactly.
your professional career.
Absolutely. I've seen some stuff, but nothing like Gigi, that's for sure. But all right, we've got the history down, so we know that the two bands were basically born within about
One
a
was
year of each
95,
other.
one was 96. Mudvayne was 96, right? Based on your notes?
Yes. Mudvayne was
okay.
96. So from what we can see here, this is probably just the beginning of the bands. We don't know how far they came into this, if they started brand new or if they all came to the table, but we will start with the very, 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 very first part of this, and that's going to go to MFKR, which we've already been talking about.
Would you compare that to Mudvayne's? I always mix up the fucking titles.
Kill Iota?
Yeah, it's that. Didn't they release it to the beginning of All Things to End? Is that it? Something along those lines.
Yeah, the beginning of all things to come.
Okay.
I guess we can go with that because
I'm more familiar with Mudvayne's.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, all we'll say is that with Kill Iota, I do wanted to put out an honorable mention that I saw Kill Iota in a bargain bin in Meyer in Sandusky, Ohio. And
where they make the best brake pads in the...
Callahan Auto Parts. Honest to God, we went to Cedar Point, and it was like in the middle of the night, and just browsing through. I was like, oh my God. And it wasn't even the new remastered one with the beginning, the new title. I was like, I should get this.
Just to have it, right?
Yeah, but I don't know why I'm an idiot. But there's nothing off of MFKR that I can say that, oh man, it was so good. Gently, obviously, was interesting. And there was another song like Dogfish or something about a dog, I remember, that I liked. But nothing that I was like, man, I really want to talk about this.
There's a couple songs that ended up on that first album from that. Which ones are they?
It was Gently was Iowa.
But there was a couple on their debut, debut, right?
I think it was Tattered and Torn, maybe, and then Sick had the dun 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 dun. That was like the slower version of it. Let's take while you're taking a look there in the facts. We'll just basically say that MFKR, if you don't know, is for mate, feed, kill, repeat, not for motherfucker like I thought. But as you said, we had burned CDs. It wasn't even in print when we were getting into this.
Well, there you go.
So, you just kind of had to use your imagination.
So let me see. Track listing. Slipknot's the first track. Gently, number 2. 3, Do Nothing, Bitch Slap.
I remember that one.
4's Only One. 5, Tattered and Torn. 6, Confessions. 7, Some Feel. And 8, Killers Are Quiet.
Okay. Where the hell did I get something about dog?
Dogfish Rising.
Yeah! I know I'm not crazy.
Here's what it says. The song Killers Are Quiet ends at 10:25. The hidden track Dogfish Rising starts at 15:35 after 5 minutes and 10 seconds of industrial shit.
Okay.
Remember when people used to do that shit?
The ghost tracks?
Yeah.
Those were fun, man. Not when you're falling asleep. JD and I love to talk about listening to music as we fall asleep. It creates this euphoric...
It's like DMT for us so far.
There you go, exactly.
Until I try ayahuasca and DMT. This is the closest I got.
But it's fantastic. If you have not fallen asleep to one of your favorite bands, what are you doing with your life? It is one of the most amazing experiences per se, because you're kind of like you reach this different level of interdimensional being where you're not asleep, but you're not awake, and you're just listening to dirt, man. Like
That's right. Fuck yes.
Got the dogfish rising, riding. No, that's not
Okay,
it.
so Kill I Oughta, yeah, it's the same tracks as fucking whatever it ends up being.
Okay.
That Red album,
So let's jump in with you since you're more familiar with it. Give me one track off of that album that you would say really hit home for you.
First one that caught my attention was Seed, I think. Is that the one that's like... It's so raw, and like there's something awesome about it. Like, it's not going to be the best quality you hear, but there's something... You can tell there's something there already.
For sure. This is my number one, man. I also put down Idiot.
Yeah.
That was a
the
good
song's one. About what I am, a motherfucking idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good
shit.
Yeah, it was. There was a nice little splice of live stuff in there too, which kind of set it all set. And we have to talk about Poop Loser. What a great, interesting way to start off your album.
Motherfucking piece of shit.
It was cool, man. I the first time that I had heard it, I was like, come on, what is this? It's awesome, man. It really kind of sets the stage for it. You know how poetic and deep we can get into music. That is your first moment in going into somebody's ears, and you hear Poop Loser, and you're like, man, what is going to come from this band?
Yeah, it ended up becoming, when they re-released it under Epic Records, the beginning of All Things to End.
There you go.
So that's what fucks me up with the end of All Things to Come.
I wonder why they changed it from Kill I Oughta.
Probably because it's not marketable.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I guess Mudvayne, well, they did become marketable. Holy smokies. But, okay,
So, not that this counts, but I would give it to Kill I Oughta.
Me too.
Between the two.
Yep.
Only because it's a little unfair because I'm not as familiar with Motherfucker, because I'm going to say Motherfucker because I'm an asshole. But, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of, it was, MFKR was a little bit too experimental for me, and you can't even compare that to...
Slipknot has a lot of tracks that aren't really there for the song.
That's true.
So that's one of the reasons I don't give a shit.
That's a good point, man. They're not serving the song.
It's just, like with songs like what ends up being Gently and probably Tattered and Torn, even Prosthetics on the first album to a certain extent, it's a cool vibe, but it's not, I don't think it's a good song.
Right.
I don't think it's nothing I would listen to.
Yeah, you're really against that one.
Which one?
Against Prosthetics.
I used to jam it all the time, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? I used to, like, back in the day, dude, Slipknot was real important to me. And I don't know what it was. It was after the third album, but I just got burned out. It just grew out of it, I guess.
It's true. It's hard to be in your mid-30s still listening to songs about like getting picked on and feeling alone, and not saying there's anything wrong with that, because I still enjoy Blink-182, and they're pushing 50 singing about high school love. So
all the small things.
Hey, shout out to Matt Skiba though, man. Have you checked out any of Blink's new stuff?
No.
Really good. Well, not new, because like Skiba joined a couple of years ago, but I really like it. Skiba. But I really liked Alkaline Trio though too.
Couldn't tell you any songs.
I don't think you would enjoy it, but
probably not.
But I'll have to give you a track. Okay, so we covered the first two.
So which one did you start off with in your notes? Which one are you coming up to?
Oh, I'm coming up to self-titled Slipknot.
Self-titled, you're going Slipknot first?
Yeah,
okay.
But we'll go Slipknot first. I have it color coordinated to keep me on track here. So what I wanted to say about Slipknot self-titled, I was first introduced to this via a group of friends back in, I want to say late 99, early 2000. I'll just say 2000 because that's what I can confidently say. The first track that I heard was Scissors, and I'm still into it because, as you had said, even with prosthetics, is it has that eerie, creepy vibe. I wasn't used to anything like that at that point.
Is that the one where it has... No, I'm thinking of... I used to say the words all the time just to fuck with people because there's this thing he repeats. Oh, I can't remember. I just remember being back in the day, like in the dark. We were playing hide and seek with my cousins and shit, and I used to say this, the lyrical phrase from it just to creep people out.
Nice.
I can't remember what it was though. I think it was something off of Scissors.
And we're gonna be done with the show, and we're gonna be like, oh, that's what we were saying because you've got it all going through. Also, I do it. Then it was 2000 because I remember it was in October. I was actually I ended up going out buying the album. I was raking leaves. The smell of the leaves in the air it was that perfect
fall time.
Yeah, exactly. What I want to say though, and this might kind of trip you up, is I want to say that Slipknot self-titled was pretty progressive for their new wave of quote unquote American metal.
Okay, explain yourself.
So some of the vibes on how the songs progressed within itself, like let's say Liberate. The way that it starts out, it kind of has that the jumpy kind of feel as all that music did. But there was that section in the middle there that just kind of went musically off of what was originally started with. And I just thought it was something really different where it kind of, I'm not going to compare it anywhere near to Dream Theater, but I'm just going to say in the style that it went and how the whole time signature changed and went back to it again, it was kind of like a Diet Coke Dream Theater.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I would say Slipknot, that first one's probably my favorite out of the Slipknot albums. It's probably between that and Subliminal.
Okay.
Just because I've heard those the most.
Right.
But I do remember there being elements where I'm like, I kind of get what you mean.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's even that, not to jump ahead to Iowa, but the song, I forget the name of the song, but it's on the Resident Evil soundtrack. There's that part
My
where
Plague?
diddle, 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 like a progressive, off time kind of thing.
I get what you're saying. Absolutely.
It's real notey.
Yep.
Yeah. But they do have those elements.
Okay. So I'm
Yes.
glad we see eye to eye on that because there definitely is that feel to it, which we can't get ahead because we're so excited to go on. But you don't get that nowadays with them. It's so straightforward,
Yeah, it's real bland to me.
Exactly.
Even the sound sucks to me. It's just, it sounds like you could take all three of their albums and shuffle the songs, and I couldn't tell you the difference between which album is which.
Really?
Which song goes on which
Off
album.
of the first three?
No, from the after Subliminal.
Oh, after. Okay. No, I totally agree with you.
Great Chapter, All Hope Is Gone.
All Hope Is Gone.
The two songs I've heard off of this so far.
The what is it? It's called the
new ones?
Yeah, what is the new album going to be called?
We Are Not Your Kind.
We Are Not Your Kind. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh man, real fucking creative. That's neither here nor there.
I do want to say that I do not like Wait and Bleed, just because
that was the first one I remember hearing. It's looking in the long picture. I get why it was popular, but if you're a real fan, it's probably your least favorite.
Exactly. Come on, they had the Terry Date remix that took out the screaming that they were putting on the radio.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was terrible. I just feel it was very forced. The way that the song was written, the music was super, super heavy.
Yeah.
But then
I like the tone of the guitars.
Yeah, exactly. I've always been a huge fan of Jim. I think Jim is a phenomenal player.
Yeah, Jim and Mick. Mick's good too, but I feel like a lot of that shit comes from Jim.
I agree.
Is that crazy? Maybe it was Paul though.
Could be.
I bet Paul had a lot to do with the writing.
For sure. It's just the way Jim plays, man. I don't know. There's nothing against Mick. Mick is just so heavy.
Jim was always my guy.
Yeah.
As far as the two went, I always liked his mask better than Mick's, and
me too.
It's who I related to.
I gotcha. Tall and lanky ass motherfucker. That's what happens, man. So, okay. Now I know I'm very eager as you are.
Well, let me say this, because I got... You told me about how you got into it or heard it. I always saw the shirts of Slipknot at school. I had no fucking idea who they were. So I ended up getting, here we go again, Columbia House.
Right.
You got that shit, you just order it. And I checked it out from there. And yeah, like you said, the first one you gravitate to is, Wait and Bleed. It's first little hook. But
right.
There's a lot of jams on that fucking first one.
No, I agree.
I think it's shallow in comparison as far as music goes, but Six heavy, the one after that surfy fucking.
Oh, Eyeless?
There you go.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Eyeless. Yep.
But that's got some riffs on it.
Eyeless is good.
Liberate, I always thought was awesome.
Liberate.
There's those. There's that one that Machine Head kind of ripped off. I forget the name of it. Is it No Life?
Yep.
Because
Because he kind of did the rappy stuff on there too.
you could just fucking completely cut out, spit it out. Fuck that song. I don't give a flying.
I don't
fuck
like it.
about
I don't
that
like the
song.
hyper version of it either. Remember they had that on the album?
My freedom is best. Is that No Life? Whole
Yes.
country on a house
Yes, it is.
arrest, never was suspect.
Absolutely.
Can't flow because you died. I just feel like he had better like choruses, like the singy parts in the first few albums.
There was a part for it. If you take out Wait and Bleed, the other singy parts of the songs had a place. It served the song, and then you went back to what it was, and it just felt organic, man.
Can I say that I went up to Michigan with my dad, and it was 4th of July weekend. We're driving around with our cousin and shit. Like, my aunt's new husband was in the car, and they turned on XM radio.
Okay.
And I think it's Eeyore from Slipknot came on. I was
Right.
fucking embarrassed. I was like, oh, I don't know why they left it on. I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that to people. You know what I mean?
Right.
A good song is a good song, whether it's heavy or not. And I felt shame. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain that other than I was like, oh, this is terrible to
It's
me.
just music. That song I've never been a fan of either. It's just this
I just don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what
Mm-hmm.
it can't just be heavy to be heavy. There's got to be a point to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Exactly. It was just noise at that point.
Yeah.
You know. Well, let's do this. Let's move on to LD50 because I really, really want to talk about
This
that.
is
man.
probably going to be the most discussed. This is gonna
Absolutely.
be the
I'm
hardest one to get through.
So excited. So excited. Tell me your first experience with Mudvayne.
Dig. It's the
Yeah.
first thing anybody I
Same
think
here.
heard.
Yep.
But
Was it the video you saw or was it the song that you heard?
it must have been the video, I
Yeah.
would think, because I can't think of where I would have heard the song other than. How did I know it? Because it was on a wrestling track, like soundtrack too.
Tough Enough.
Yeah.
Tough Enough. Yeah.
But I had to have seen the video somewhere, and
Shout out to Pressure 4-5. If you want to beat the world. That was a good song, man. That was
I'll
good.
take your word for it, man.
You don't remember that one?
No.
Oh, we'll have to jam on that.
It was at a friend's house. They had that on, and I was like, "Dig's awesome, man. You gotta listen to that track. That's the one to listen to."
I remember I stayed up because I used to watch that All Things Rock on MTV.
Yeah, it's probably something off
Yep.
of that, man.
And I was like, what is this? And visually just
Dude, that video,
jaw-dropping.
just looking at it is just like,
Yeah.
man, that dude's bad. That's when he had those, whatever you want to call it, like his beard dreads or whatever you want to call
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just flying around and
it was all white too.
watching like fucking, what did he call himself at the time? Spag? The
Spag,
drummer, Matt?
yeah, yep.
Just going off on the drums and shit, dude. It was fucking Rhino doing those slaps and shit, dude.
That tone. We'll just say right now that bass tone, unbelievable.
Oh my god, he's amazing. Like everything, the way they can come together and build a song like that, it's like Tool but better to me.
Agreed. It gets to the point quicker.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you. It doesn't take 3 minutes to build up a fucking intro or anything.
No,
Not
no.
that I don't like Tool.
No,
but
no,
I would take
absolutely.
this over Tool. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. I would have to say that I only recently started respecting Tool.
Mm-hmm.
I've always known they've been around. I've listened to all the songs. I never really dug in.
Always had a little bit of respect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time I ever heard Lateralis was just like 2 months ago.
Yes, that one. That's a great song. That's one I've always listened to.
That's one I'll gladly wait the 10 minutes.
Yes,
Oh.
that one builds beautifully.
Doesn't it? Oh my God.
But as you were saying, "Wait and Bleed" is the shitty song on that. I think "Dig" is definitely the shitty song on LD50.
Yeah, agreed.
The cheap, like, hey, everybody,
We're
come
here.
on. Yes.
This is it. I agree with you. Now this is hard. You have to pick one track to sell to somebody.
One track to sell.
One track
Ooh.
to sell.
Oh, you're a fucking asshole.
I know.
Oh man.
One track off of LD50. And think carefully.
I think the obvious choice probably would be Death Blooms, but for me, I think Internal Primates
Ooh.
Forever might be the one because that's got a little bit of everything.
It does, man. It does. It's
With the drums kicking in, dude, and then and just the way Chad flows on that fucking album. He's got the singing,
Right.
He's got like these awesome patterns too.
Yep. The way that he has the filter on some of it, like like in the background,
man.
it's
Yeah,
so
the layers
layered.
and shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So much time has went into that. it's such a phenomenal song. This album from front to back it's such a journey. You have the interludes in between each one.
Yes.
The story doesn't stop. It lets you calm back down.
This is one I'm gonna have to smoke some weed and fucking go back to.
Yeah, we should do that. We should do that.
Yeah, you telling me that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could,
You're gonna make sure I don't flip out.
No, it's not the flip outing, not the flip out stuff.
But dude, you're right. It's such a journey. What is that the song that you would pick? Or
No.
Yeah, good.
Negative one.
Negative one.
Negative
Ooh.
one.
You're the one.
Yep. It starts off that nice and slow, but it's not like that pretty. It's that like I'm haunted. You feel every single thing that fucking Chad Gray says on that album. You
Lyrics
feel
are on another level.
Absolutely.
I made back in the day. I made my neighbor print these out for me.
Did
so
you
I had
really?
to have them. Yeah. I loved them. I analyzed them. I was looking. I was like, how the fuck do I write like this?
Yep.
You know what I mean? You either got it or you don't. You got something to say. It comes from a real place, or you don't.
That's true. That's true.
There's
man.
no fucking around with it.
It's you felt that on every level. You watch the live footage. He's down. He's screaming so hard that he's like coughing up mucus. He's punching himself in the face.
Yes, dude.
That is a performer.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Unbelievable. I also had Death Blooms too as one of the.
Another
tracks.
popular one is there. At Nothing to Gain.
It was popular. I thought that it was cool.
It's not one I would pick either.
It was not one I would pick to show somebody that.
It's got that cool like whammy part where he kind of goes off. The lyrics are fucking cool. It took me a long time to realize what he was talking about because I'm an idiot. But what's Everything and Nothing is on there. That's a good fucking track.
That's a heavy one, man. They had that on All Things Rock where they showed live footage of them playing at the Hard Rock Hotel. And I remember like people were just going nuts at that, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Then even in those last tracks, dude, they still like there was Severed that came probably after that.
Severed, yeah.
That's a good like kind of all over the place kind of song. But after that, it kind of came back and Prod wasn't in there too.
Just gonna say Prod.
That's one that's like kind of it's the better version of like a Scissors type song that Slipknot does, where it's slow and it builds, but it fucking builds to something.
It does.
And then even the last couple tracks, you had I forget the faster one, but there was also Pharmacopoeia.
That was cool, man. Oh my God, that chorus that hits you.
And even that last track, I'm singing the other one real quick.
It's hard because it's like,
Step hourglass. It's so fucking badass, dude. I can't get over it.
It is. I'm gonna look this up because I can't remember the name of the song now. It's funny. It's my Spotify.
Superman without the S on my chest. That's the fast one.
No Forever, Lethal Dosage, Under My Skin.
Yes,
it was
that's
Under My
the one.
Skin. Yep.
You're under my fucking skin.
Yep. But Severed was such a good one.
That's in that middle part too, where fucking Rhino's just tapping on the bass like.
Yep. I never heard anybody play a bass like that prior to that.
It was like it's like jazz, dude. It really is.
Right.
The way he brings it in.
Dude, he's still flowing. He plays with these this older group of gentlemen that I see on YouTube, and I of course can't remember the name. We'll have to tag it once the show is up. But I mean, it is really, really cool. It's funky. It's jazzy. It's all over the place. They were playing outside in some field. I just remember that they were in a field, and it was, I don't know, but it was cool. Now this is what's hard for me because what I did was I put this straight up against. No, I didn't put it up against Iowa. That's going into our next one.
Look, yeah, because I was going to ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it chronologically? Compare each album to as far as the career goes.
Yeah, we could do that because I wrote the dates.
Because let's be honest, I could take this album over any of the if you want to compare this to Slipknot's best, which might be Iowa for you.
It was.
I would still put this over Iowa.
I would, and that's the thing. As I told my wife, everybody that knows me, I preach Iowa like it's my religion.
Mm-hmm.
And it hurt me to know that when you really strip this down to the core, Iowa didn't hold. It was close, kind of, but it didn't hold that light.
Iowa is one track mind for me because it's all about dark and heavy, and it's got the other shit. But we'll get into this more. But look at the difference between the first major releases between these two.
Okay.
It's fucking night and day.
True.
LD50 and the self-titled.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? One's way, way fucking better than the other. And a lot of that might have to do, like I've heard shit about, like the label told Slipknot, you got to do this to conform to this, do this to be popular. And
something worked. It clicked. Clicked for both bands.
Yeah, obviously Slipknot's still around bigger than anybody else. So what the fuck do I know?
Exactly. What do we know? What are we doing here? Next we'll go to Iowa because that's up next. 2001. The thing for me right off what you had just said, it is a dark, heavy album. It deals with death, it deals with pain, deals with loss, deals with everything. I feel that Iowa is the album that Corey's voice was the most strongest.
I could see that.
At least from a, if you want to say, metal standpoint, but like from a metal standpoint, his screams were
from a brutal standpoint. I would say.
Thank you. You know that you know me, just like yourself, we're really into those first tracks. Mm-hmm. That first fucking track, you got to pull me in. And that 515, that death, like that really, it sets it up. I get the goosebumps thinking about it. Apparently, what I had researched was Sid wrote that himself on the way to a loved one's funeral. He was on a plane. And I mean, as far as a DJ or a scratcher goes, what are you going to write in a song? Because the screams were Sean screaming death.
Oh, is it?
So I don't know if he was just thinking like, I'm going to have one of them scream death a lot. I don't know if it works. You know what I mean? It's haunted. And then how it kicks into people equals shit. That first fucking time that hit, I was like, oh my God. It pulled me right in. Goes into Disaster Piece, which is one of my favorite songs off of that album completely. Mm-hmm. If you want to talk about the way that a song is written, I think that was one of Slipknot's best written songs completely. Yeah. Just went all over the place. We had My Plague, which we had discussed, was on the Resident Evil soundtrack, which shout out to that soundtrack. So they had some kick-ass stuff on that soundtrack, dude, man, you know?
Soundtracks back in the day, man. That's where it was at.
Oh, I missed that so much. They even shot a video for it, too, splicing that Resident Evil footage into it.
Yes,
you know?
I remember that shit.
You know, it even went down to the last track on Iowa, self-titled, and I thought that it was cool. It had a nice slow build to it, but it didn't serve the song. I think it was just being creepy to be creepy. But it was cool because I remember on the actual CD, in the nonogram, it had the lyrics to it. And I remember like the first couple lyrics are relax, it's over, you belong to me, I fill your mouth with dirt. Mm-hmm. Like it was cool to kind of, it's like you're coming back out of that. You and I get real weird and real trippy and deep when it comes to going on journeys with an album. That to me took me on something completely different.
Yeah, it's one of them tracks that I call album tracks because unless you're listening to it all within the sense of the album, like going through it, really you're not going to come back to it. I don't think anybody just goes, hey, you know, I feel like listening to Iowa. Right. Oh, the album? No, the song. Get the fuck out of here.
Right, exactly.
The fuck are you?
Who's going to put that in?
No, but I feel you on those first three main tracks because everything ends I never gave a shit about. Yeah. I don't care about that song. What's number 6?
Number 6 was Heretic Anthem.
That's like their jump. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean if you're 5'5"?
Exactly.
Then I'm sick. Oh, you're such a badass. Oh, cool, man. I remember everybody with that fucking shirt. I hated that song back then. I never told anybody, but
it was heavy though. Like the music was heavy.
I didn't want to be uncool.
You had to jump into it. Head Gently was next. Yeah. Left Behind was cool. I enjoyed that.
I liked it for a little bit.
Yeah. The video was real cool. It was very cinematic, the way that they shot that. The rain and the kid in the butcher shop and stuff. It was cool for the time being. A track that's not really talked about too much is New Abortion. I really, really like that one.
Now, these later songs, I think I know some of the choruses, but I don't remember the fucking tracks that much.
Okay.
I remember We Are the Anti-Cancer.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably the one
I
after
Am Hated.
Right? Okay.
That was in Rollerball. That was on the Rollerball soundtrack.
I was going to watch it just because of Slipknot back in the day. I never did, though.
No, you don't need to. I dragged my friends to go see it, and they were in it for like 2 minutes total.
Exactly. It's like James Hetfield in that fucking Ted Bundy movie.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
in it for like 8 seconds.
You know, after we got off the phone talking about that, JD and I were talking about it, I wanted to watch the movie because he saw it, and I just wanted to see James Hetfield.
I didn't even watch it. I watched it in reverse.
Oh, you watched it in reverse?
Because Chrissy watched it. She was like, it's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to go through this. And she always wants to show me parts. I'm like, okay, well, you're just going to ruin the fucking movie for me anyway if I just see these parts. So I went all the way back to the beginning. It's just Hetfield arresting him. And then he's in like the interrogation room for like fucking 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this.
Yeah. This was your big acting debut? Silent Bob style, you know? Come on, give me a break.
That's neither here nor there.
Yeah. What I wrote about my final thoughts on Iowa was that I didn't think that it had any major structural weaknesses. The only weaknesses was lyrics. and going to your Heretic Anthem. It was very cheesy. Oh, you're 555 666. Getting back into that. Oh, I'm so angry at the world. Which at that point he was. He had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I give you that. But the memories attached to this album was way. I'll never not like.
Dude,
that
I used
album
to. I remember it must have been middle school at the time. Maybe it was like early high school. Maybe juniors. No, freshman maybe. But I remember writing all the fucking lyrics in one of my journals, like notebooks for school and shit. I went through the lyric book, wrote every fucking one into the fucking the notebook. And I remember sitting in class one day, and this dude was sitting behind me. He's like, "Let me see that." And he's looking at him. He's like, "Do you write this?" Like, no, because it was in it must be Disaster Pieces where he's like, "I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound, something swoon." He's like, "What is that?" I was like, "I don't know, I didn't write it." Like, that's stupid. I was like, "Oh, maybe it is."
Yeah.
What is a swoon? And I just felt stupid.
Yeah. Looking on it now, it's cheesy because
My wormwood meets your pesticide. You'll never get out because you will never alive. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you could have done that a little bit better.
It's hard because you're being so critical on it, not listening to the song.
Fair enough. I know.
I
know.
Because in a quiet room, it's like, pfft. But when you got like the actual heavy music behind it, and you're like, oh. But then again, that's the thing. That's what's wrong with the metal community is that, oh yeah, kill your father. But then when you say those lyrics, you're like, oh, those really. I get why people say that because I'm gonna slice your throat and fuck the wound. Like, can you imagine the physics behind that? Like, what is wrong with people? You can't do that. That is not clean, okay? But yeah, I don't know. It's not something that I'll continuously bump, but when I'm in the mood for it, I'm feeling tasty. I'll jam on it, but it's not very often. As most of these albums really aren't. I mean, all of these, LD50 is the only thing that I can say I consistently have listened to throughout the years.
Well, I listened to this upcoming one, The End of All Things to Come, a lot too.
Yeah,
come a lot too.
Hi-oh. Let's get into this because I know you and Red we're all about this, man.
Yeah, this was it for a while for me, man. Not Falling was the first one, and obviously that was on the Ghost Ship soundtrack.
Another soundtrack, man.
Fucking awesome, dude. It was like even my sister liked this song, and she was like fucking 8 at the time. I was like,
really?
I was proud. It's a proud moment for me. But, dude, I still think it's so much more concise. It's precise and concise and precise. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But like I remember reading in Guitar Magazine, Guitar World, them talking to Greg, and he's like, I wanted to leave more space for Chad to do more like singing and stuff, and it really has this kind of like I guess outer space kind of feel to it in certain parts. Like it's just real eerie and atmospheric kind of, and gives him his space to be more melodic.
I get that.
And it's not as heavy or as brutal.
No, it's not at all.
There's still some fucking badass shit on here though.
There is, man. I will say that I was not a huge fan of Not Falling just because it had soundtrack appeal all over.
It's the radio hit. Like it's the one that people are gonna hate eventually.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I remember not really feeling that. The other song I never liked on there was The Patient Mental. I wasn't really like a huge fan of that one.
You didn't like it?
It just didn't sit right with me. It just felt kind of rushed. I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm not a huge fan of this album is because you're coming off of LD50, right? Mm-hmm. This is Metallica coming off of Justice to Black album for me. This is a pivotal moment where the whole world is watching you. You've caught the attention of all the masses with LD50. You've just embarked yourself on Ozfest 2001, headlining the second stage. You guys are fucking brutal. You're going to try something. Greg is allowing some space. Thing is, though, is that it shifted too much for me. Mm-hmm. It was in too many different directions. You had the heavy shit. You had the good licks. I'll tell you right now, Perversion of the Truth, that Mercy, Severity, and A Key to Nothing, my top ones.
Those are jams. But what about Trapped in the Wake of a Dream?
That's true.
You won't find any lyrics in here that says wormwood or pesticide.
True, and we're not talking about lyrics. We're talking about how the material is presented. You know what I mean? I'll say hands down, Chad is his lyrics and the way that he flows is more interesting than Corey. But I think that this album just missed the mark for me because they saw that opportunity to have that commercial appeal, and that's what that whole album ended up being for me. I still would take Iowa over The End of All Things to Come.
I could see your reasoning though. Because a track that stands out to me is "Shadow of a Man." That's a fucking awesome tune.
Yeah. Forgot about that one.
Trying to think, it's been so long since I sat back and like ran through this, but yeah, "Mercy Severity" is great. "Scrying" is a cool song too.
Yep,
it's real trippy.
It is.
It's not brutal to be brutal, but it's fucking. It's real otherworldly, you could say.
Exactly. But you've got that. You've got then the commercial people and they get the heavy stuff.
What about the fucking title track?
That's true. It was weird. I'll give it to you. It was interesting. It just was weird. It just left a sour taste in my mouth.
Oxygen wasters.
Right.
We've come to serve you.
Save it from yourself.
Come on.
Yeah, it's cool.
The lyrics on that one alone, I'd fucking put up against anything Slipknot does.
Yeah, I
That's
getcha.
fucking anger.
Yeah, that is, man.
What's that word? We need planetary suicide, worldwide genocide, and when the whole damn world is dead, there's your fucking peace. I might have mixed up the front part. I'm sorry.
You're excited.
Yeah, I am.
No, I get it. I don't know. It just... I just remember sitting and I was like, man, this is just I wasn't expecting.
So for you, it's split 1-1 so far, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it. I'm 2-0 right now. For
2-0. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Where are we at now? We are moving on to 2004. So we're talking about Diet Pepsi can still in the sky blue can. The Wonder Balls are still around. Remember the Disney Wonder Balls?
2004 is like a whole nother lifetime, man. When you really think about it,
It really is. It's when you came into Contempt.
It's true.
Very, very
Right
true.
around there,
Yeah, because they were trying to scout you for a ska band.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, my favorite bands,
Yeah.
Cottonmouth Kings and shit.
Oh God. Volume 3, the Subliminal Verses. I remember S&J Studio used to have the albums the day before that they came out. And albums, when they were physically released, for the youngins that may not know, used to come out on Tuesdays. So I went on a Monday. I paid $24.99 for this fucking album because I wanted to get it.
Dude.
Yeah, man. But I just wanted to hear it. There was no YouTube videos being released. There were no online teasers. I think we saw it in Circus Magazine. Their masks.
Yeah, that's probably true. I heard. God, what's the name of the main one?
Duality?
Yes, on had been Q101 maybe.
Yep.
That or maybe we had the Zone back then, 94.7. One of the two.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I know that it did get play on Q101, but maybe it started with the Zone. It was a commercial success. It brought in people. It was the prequel of Ghost for Slipknot, man. It made them that mainstream name. You had the popularity from My Plague. Everybody had already got the attention of that. People Equal Shit. Not so much in the masses, but still it was a well-known song.
Yes.
Left Behind. You come out with this, and it blew up. It blew the fuck up is what it did. Slipknot became that household name. It got the attention. They headlined 2004 Ozfest, second stage.
And all credits to Slipknot. I don't know anybody that blew up off of Ozfest the way they did.
That's
That's why they had the following that they did.
That's true. Yep.
And then this just took it to that next level.
It did, man.
So I'll give them that.
They had the theatrics. They Corey, I believe, just came off of having that surgery on his throat, so he sounded way different. And I wasn't really prepared for that. I remember the Prelude 3.0, the very, very first song. It was interesting. I was like, this is cool. I like this. Blister Exists. Obviously, everybody knows the snare part was cool. Vermilion, I forgot how big of a hit that was. You don't like it?
I don't like that song.
I liked the part 2 one better.
Yes, the acoustic?
Yeah.
Is more, yeah, okay.
I remember Ivan would be taking a shit in the bathroom and he would have the acoustic in there and he'd be singing, you know? Like, dude, no, man, you're like one octave off. But for those who don't know, Ivan is basically our fucking Norwegian death metal reporting man. You know, he's into the most extreme stuff than all of us. The guy has a beautiful singing voice, man.
Yes.
He's very tender with the acoustics, you know?
Yeah.
Very good. There was a ton of bullshit on this album, though. There really was.
Tell me what you got.
Circle, Danger.
Do you not like it?
I don't like it at all.
Because I'm more. I'm interested in it. I think it's is it my favorite like acoustic kind of track? Do I ever come back to it? No. But I do like Danger, Keep Away.
Oh no!
Hey, say what you want.
Why are you gonna? Why are you selling me that song? Tell me something about that, and don't reference a part of the song physically. Tell me.
What the fuck are you talking about? How
I
am
don't
gonna
want
sell
to.
this
I don't
to
want to
you?
hear about a part. I don't want to hear about a part. You tell me physically as a whole. What about this song is interesting?
It's just interesting. It's different to me. It's not like any. It's not even like Circle. It's a slow song. It's like an ending.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably. I can't give you a good reason why it's. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just not even the lyrics, but probably the way Corey sings on it.
You're very
It's
predictable in what you like. I
Yeah.
can listen to a brand new band and I can come to you with the 3
Tell me
songs
about-
and you'll be like, yep.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It's just, I get it. Don't Get Too Close. That was another one.
I don't remember anything about that fucking song.
It was associated with some video game. I remember around that time. I don't remember which one it was. I just felt like a lot of it felt cheap to me. I felt it was such a strong start. Duality to me still to this day is still a good fucking song.
Mm-hmm.
Good tunes is good tunes. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? The video was cool. It smashed the hell out of that dude's house in Des Moines. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember the video.
Yeah, it was cool. It was interesting. That was my first time seeing them was on that tour. It was right before it came out, and it was at a no longer functioning venue in Chicago. Was called the Congress Theater. We have history playing there. We played like a local thing.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Nothing
But
important.
oh my God, I just remember like I was not fucking prepared for that. It was Chimera, and they were still touring on Impossibility or Reason.
Oh man.
It was Fear Factory going with Archetype, and it was Slipknot. That was a fucking hell of a tour.
That
man.
is insane to me.
That was a good tour. That was fun.
Think of those albums just in those bands' careers, because I think, obviously, if you've been listening to the podcast, I think fucking Archetype's my favorite Fear Factory album.
Agreed. Hands down.
But
So good. But no, you're not allowed to play it though. Oh my God, the fucking infection has been removed. The soul of this machine is improved. I can understand why Dino doesn't want to hear that. You know what I mean?
hey, fine, but you gotta take credit for what you fucking did to the band.
That's
you know
true.
What I mean? If you're
That's
gonna
true, man.
Treat people like that, maybe you gotta look at yourself and realize what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. I remember when we were waiting outside, I ended up ditching school that day because I was real cool to go see Slipknot. But Ivan was super into Transformers, and this was before the movies, so you gotta
Yeah.
give him
Oh,
some
yeah.
credit,
Yes.
right? We're sitting out there, and one of the stagehands from Slipknot comes up and says, "Hey, man, that's a cool beanie." And Ivan, I believe, had a Starscream beanie on.
Was it that or was it Decepticon? Just a Decepticon thing.
I don't know. I thought it was Starscream.
We'll have to have Ivan correct us on this.
For
shit,
sure,
but
for sure.
He definitely is. His favorite definitely is Starscream. Though.
Absolutely. The guy goes.
That makes sense though, because DJ Starscream, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably, who knows? Goddamn, how many years ago? But basically, the stagehand, he had the big tribal S on the back. He had the walkie on, and he goes, Sid would really like that, and he would like that hat. And Ivan goes, yeah, well, if he wants it, tell him to come get it. You know what?
That's my boy.
Yeah, you know what? He's one of those guys, man, that he gets what he wants, and you got to respect that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, anyways, Sid came out, got the hat, and to this day, we took pictures with Sid on the fucking the old school
Yeah.
disposable cameras.
Yeah.
We left it in God Forbid's van.
Oh wow.
And they still have that. They probably threw it away because it's like over like 15 years ago.
Yes.
But I wish I am so upset that those pictures are never going to see the
You know
light
what?
of
Let's
day.
ask Doc. I'll tweet him or something. Be like,
Okay.
hey, did you guys find a disposable camera like on a tour bus 15
Yeah.
years ago?
There you
Might
go.
have had some pictures of Sid and some random dudes.
Yeah, absolutely. We gave it to, was his name Byron?
I think Byron. Yeah.
Byron.
'Cause
God
you guys
forbid.
had somebody had his number or something, or
I
was
did.
it the other guy?
I did. Well, yeah, we called them from our friend Brian's room.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hello, who is this? Hello," and then we hung up because we were scared.
Oh, it's like, stop! You gotta take it seriously or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that you guys were fucking with him.
Yes, so we will definitely tag Doc in this, and we'll have to ask him what's going on with that. Became huge with Volume 3. I remember Slipknot was on Jay Leno. They were, I
Wow.
believe, also on, I want to say another big time talk show. I couldn't confirm that, so I didn't write it. Just what can I say? It helped launch him into a new level, man.
Yeah, and other songs I guess I'd like to kind of mention. Number 5, is it Opium of the People?
Opium of the People.
This is the album where you really kind of hear what Jim and Mick can do.
Yeah.
Because they finally kind of started showing off their prowess guitar wise.
Yeah, there was a little. Those notes were a little bit higher than what we were used to. I didn't like the way the drums sounded on that entire album.
Yeah, I could agree with you.
No.
There's something about the recording sound, like the sound of things, that sounds off to me.
Yep.
But then again, it's not, so what do I know?
True, but
I feel like Corey's vocals are better on this too, in the sense like the singing.
Singing,
parts.
yes, because there was so fucking much of it.
Yeah.
You know, it was really, that really took the forefront of it, and it still sits a little sour grapes with me.
God, it's an ugly sounding album. Now that you really bring it up to me.
I'm telling you, man.
I didn't like it back in the day, but maybe it's just all the fucking, those drums sound so compressed to me, maybe.
Yeah.
Something about it. Even like when you double it with all those stupid fucking extra drums. I don't need that shit. No. Either give me a Godsmack double fucking drum solo shit or get the fuck off stage.
Right.
You're going to have some like goddamn marching band snares. Oh.
Yep. No. And then live, it's horrible. Live is a cluttered. I couldn't imagine being a sound engineer for that. Yeah. No. And plus when they played it so fast, it is not anything. But I will
Good song though, still.
Yeah, you know, it gets the blood pumping and stuff. What can you say?
I'm not a fan of it, huh?
No. So Joey's drums. I mean, there was something about they sounded like, now that I think about it, kind of like how Death Magnetic's recording was. Just it was out there. It was like in an empty room.
Yes.
And you could tell that they were new cymbals too, because you were hearing that reverb from it.
Well, they didn't like the fucking. I know Corey was real pissed off the way the fucking album came out, or at least with the way Ruben was recording them, because he didn't have fucking nothing to do with it. They he came in after all the songs were done.
Huh.
And, you know, it's like, hey, do this or do that. He said he hated working with them, never wanted to do it again.
Wow.
So I wonder if that has a lot to do with the way the fucking.
It could be. I just thought it was because Joey went to those coated.
Well, they were
pasties.
in that fucking his Ruben's house, that fucking supposedly haunted place.
Oh, that haunted mansion. Oh, yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Okay, maybe.
Remember all that shit now?
So, yeah, because we read it.
You also got to bring up the fucking probably one of the bigger hits too. I forget the name of it. I am the world before I.
Ooh, before I forget.
There you go.
Oh,
I forgot the words.
Forgot about that one. That was a cool video.
That's a good jam.
Song. Good video.
Outplayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that. I don't care about Slipknot so much that I don't remember any of these song names, but I never wanted anybody more than I wanted you.
That was like, oh, come on.
I was like, God.
Yeah.
Really? Because it's pretty heavy up to that point. And then I was like, ugh.
Yeah. I remember that because, it was up to there, then it stopped, and it had like that ticking sound. Yeah.
Whatever the little guitar part was.
No, thanks. Let's, so we're beating a dead horse here, man. I don't know.
Lost and Found?
Yeah, Lost and Found. This is it, man. This is it. Mudvayne found their true mix with this album.
What do you mean?
They're balanced.
Okay.
It's heavy. It also has the room for Chad's singing. But
sounds better, production-wise.
Production-wise, way up there, obviously. Clean. Mm-hmm. Straightforward to back, I thought was absolutely excellent. This was the Mudvayne.
I remember a lot of people. Man, was it you were? I thought you didn't like this album for a while.
I think it was, maybe you're mixing me up with Brian.
Because I definitely remember him not liking it.
Yeah.
But I thought, I don't remember a lot of people jamming this back in the day.
No, and it's an acquired taste. I'm not going to say I sat here and I was like, oh my God, like that first. I was like, let me sit on this. Because you're thinking about, I'm going back now to LD50. Mm-hmm. Skipping the last one because I was like, I'm not really sure about this. But you open with fucking Determined. I'm like, ooh.
See, I heard that on one of them Need for Speed games. Maybe Most Wanted or one of them things.
Oh my God, it was on there, wasn't it?
Remember that shit?
Yeah, okay.
I was like, new Mudvayne, yeah.
Yeah, it was good.
It had a Helmet song on there too, Crashing Foreign Cars. That's a badass.
Yeah,
that's
dude. Oh my God, we need to talk about Helmet more on this show. Jesus, man. I'll just be honest with you. This, because obviously I went back and I listened to everything this entire week.
Yes.
I just you just forget like how much of a gem this album was, because this is the perfect balance of what Mudvayne.
It's going in more into their songwriting, like we're on the radio, more popular, but we're still bringing it a little bit.
Exactly. It's still respectable.
There's still hooks and everything.
Absolutely.
Yes, still.
Absolutely.
Obviously the biggest one on here is probably Happy.
Yep.
I don't know if there was any other. Oh, Forget to Remember.
From the Sauce. Oh, yes. Yeah. Another one.
Yes.
So many
Shit.
songs. What
God.
we're noticing a pattern here, aren't we?
Yes, that's why that's why metal's almost dead.
That's true. Do you remember that song TV Radio?
Yes.
That was one of my favorite ones.
Really? Because I remember, again, it's probably Brian.
Yeah.
He's like, I probably hate that fucking song. There's something kind of catchy about it to me. I always dug it.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a Disturbed song too, though. I don't want to be.
I get that. Yeah, that repetitiveness.
Expect you know. I don't wanna be. But
Guest
it's got a
appearance.
flow, though. You know what I mean?
It does. It does have a flow. It's hard for me to say this is my favorite track, but if you're pushing me up against the wall, Pushing Through for me.
Really? Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good riff.
That's a good one.
There's also I'm In. That's a fucking ooh. Man, Chad just on that track is just fucking brutal. Mm-hmm. Then after that is probably number 5 is probably Forget to Remember, right?
Forget to Remember.
6 is Rain, Sun, Gone. Obviously, you could tell I'm more of a fan because I remember fucking songs.
Spitting them off without even looking. Falling into Sleep.
Oh my god, that's 5.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Yep,
that's a cool fucking tune.
Yep.
I don't care if you're into metal and whatever. That's a cool fucking tune.
Right.
You know what I forgot to mention on End of All Things to Come?
What's that?
Was fucking, how could I forget this? When passion's lost.
Oh, World So Cold.
Yes.
How did we skip over that one?
Because we're fucking stupid.
Oh, that was a good one. I enjoyed it.
Like Chad with the flow on that one, just to touch on base on that one, so I'm not a hypocrite. I never left, never lied, never lived. I was like, oh, you fucking feel that shit,
Yeah,
dude.
you do. He has it, and he still to this day has it.
Yeah. So
never lose it.
God, there's the slow song on this Lost and Found too for me. All That You Are. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I do too.
It's a great.
I do
fucking
too.
tune.
And you can call me a hypocrite if you're listening and going, well, what the fuck is up? Because Animal Ripped Apart Volume 3. It's because it just didn't have the integrity behind it to support those slower songs. Because I felt those songs that were slower were thrown in there just for shits and gigs to try and branch out to that bigger audience. Whereas with Everything on Lost and Found was there for a fucking reason.
Yes.
It made sense. In my notes, I put Volume 3 felt like End of All Things in regards to the commercial push with loss of integrity.
See, before we started talking about Lost and Found, I was gonna edge it out. I was gonna give Slipknot the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm convinced that I was right in my initial reaction, which is Lost and Found's better. And I even like the fucking Any Mini Miny Mo song.
Oh yeah, it's weird.
It's got a cool riff, and I like the lyrics in it. I like again his vocal performance.
Yep.
I know where to do
Yeah.
anywhere. I don't know.
It's going off in that weird spot, but it's still coming right back into it. Like that's the thing. Is
System of Destruction.
right.
He hits that shit. I was
Yeah.
like,
It's just not all the way through like dugga 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 and the scratching and this and that. It's just,
lead into grace or lead to corruption. And then the Any Mini Miny Mo.
Yep.
Yes, I get it.
I would say we could both agree that this round goes to Mudvayne.
Yes.
Easily.
I'm sorry, Slipknot. I tried. I was going to give it to you.
Now, here's what's interesting, and I don't know how you want to go about this, but judging how Mudvayne abruptly ended 2009, 2010 with their self-titled album, the New Game came out a year before, right? So I kind of put those two albums together because I didn't, and I'll be honest with you, when I was going through this 2008 versus All Hope Is Gone 2009 for Slipknot, it was hard for me because I really felt that this was the battle of the B-sides. These albums didn't impress me to say the least. I can tell you right now that I believe the New Game and self-titled for Mudvayne was the Achilles heel. Big time.
I could see it. Because I didn't listen to the self-titled that much.
You knew the Scream With Me song, right?
Yeah, that always reminds me of REM. Stand in the corner where you live.
I never thought of that.
So I got a little bit of shade to Mudvayne, but
Okay.
I didn't listen to the Great Chapter, so it kind of fits with me.
Okay.
So I'm as unaware of those last two for me.
Okay. I'll have to say with New Game, song Fish Out of Water and Do What You Do. Do you remember Do What You Do?
Oh, yeah. It's a great fucking radio tune, dude.
For sure. But that whole album, both of those albums were just... I felt it was... Mudvayne was at the fucking top of their game now in the commercial sense, not going back to the top of their game in the underground sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So they're writing an album now to stay up and afloat. And they did have the success with the Do What You Do, and then the other one that I just mentioned, the Scream With Me song. But it didn't have the...
It's a little too clean and too processed almost.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little sterile.
Right. You can tell when the bands come into that success, like it all happens with all these bands. It is what it is. There was a track on there that I didn't like, that Dole Boy song. You remember Dole Boy?
Yeah.
I just thought it was, come on, you're gonna bring The Shining into this, and it's like, oh, don't
Is
you
it?
dare!
I never looked into it.
All work and no play makes me a dog.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But,
yeah, that's how it starts.
But you look at Pictures in the Gold Room from Chimera, and you don't even have to mention that it was. You didn't even know it was The Shining.
That. Not me.
You're like, you son of a bitch.
Everything's.
Yep, absolutely.
Ed Gang.
Yep.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yep.
You know what's a cool song on the? Is it? No. Okay. New Game.
Right.
I really like Same Old.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Didn't.
It still has those shades, you know. Shades of what I mean.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite song on that album. A New Game's got fucking some riffs on it. That's probably going back video wise to Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's some other songs on the end of that track or that CD that kind of bring it too. It's been a while since I listened to that one too, but you know, when you get into the Scarlet Letter, and there's probably something else. Another track on there that's more clean tones, and it just doesn't do it as much for me. So yeah,
it didn't get my dick hard at all. You know what I mean? You could tell that this wasn't going to last. You just were waiting. You know what I mean? I remember seeing the self-titled album at the record store, and it was like the Paul Booth.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
the black light.
Yeah, fuck out of here, man. Come on, dude. But you know what? You don't really know what was going through their heads at the time. Were they trying to stay relevant? Were they writing those songs, or were they just legitimately writing what they wanted to write?
You know, like if you're looking at this probably objectively, when you get to that point, like you finally start making money, like what the fuck do you do if this shit all hits the fan and you got people employed with you? I kind of get the idea of selling out. I wouldn't even call it selling out, because I still think most of these fucking songs are killer, but I feel like there's so much expected out of you. You got to keep up the lifestyle. So I don't know.
It's hard, man. It's hard. But okay, we kind of,
not to just give anybody a pass, but
yeah.
I understand it more now.
Absolutely. You would do the same thing. You got a lot of mouths. If you got a lot of people depending on you, and if you've got that formula written down, do it. But you got to make sure that
I guess as long as you don't hate what you're doing.
Exactly.
Maybe that's the thing.
That's true. Speaking of hating stuff, oh God, this all help is gone. Ugh, God almighty. 2009. So you're going from 2004 to 2009. You're taking a quite a few year hiatus here, and it just was another smash success. You had Sulfur, Psychosocial.
I like Sulfur. Psychosocial. That's Ivan's jam. It's a cool riff, but once you get into that fucking chorus, it ruins it. Absolutely fucking destroys it for me.
This is the start of what Slipknot was going to be and has continued to be, and what will always be, unfortunately. Snuff was the best song off of that album for me.
I wouldn't listen to it. I never listened to it.
The only... I think it was just so heartfelt.
I hated Dead Memories, though.
Oh my God. Because he doesn't, I wrote down here with Dead Memories, like it doesn't even sound like he's saying in my heart. Like it just, it doesn't pronunciate correctly for me. All Hope Is Gone was fucking trash. Gihana was trash. Butcher's Hook was trash.
Is Butcher's Hook the one where it's like, dan, 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 dan.
That,
I like that riff, but
riff.
I think that was it.
It's because you like Meshuggah. You liked Meshuggah when they wrote that riff 20 years before Slipknot did.
Fair enough.
And Geometria or whatever, like, I don't know, man.
What even are those things? I think Corey's getting too fucking in his own head about shit sometimes.
And he does, man. You think about in the My Plague song, the little my robot face. Like, what do you mean? He clouds up too much too quickly. He's got one of the best screaming voices out there today.
But it's one-dimensional.
Exactly. His writing style, for me, is one-dimensional.
Like, if you want to compare the two singers, I think if you're comparing just the voice, not necessarily the talent, I think he's got a little bit better voice than maybe Chad does. Okay. But Chad is so much better at using his.
Correct. He knows how to. He's perfected it. It's his tool. Yes. You know what I mean? Slipknot is still the big stage show. It's the same. You know what you're getting into. I'd be lying to you if I said my how do I want to say this? If my titties weren't like sprinkling with joy hearing about the new Slipknot coming out, because there's still part of me that will never go away. Because it's like being a kid again. Oh man, Slipknot's going on a new cycle. What's coming up? Which we'll get to in a moment. But this all hope is gone, man. It was all over Q101. They had another big fucking tour, big huge LEDs, pyro, this and that, and I'm just like, man, it's just you've lost that feel, man.
To me, the tracks on this album are Sulfur and Vendetta. I think Vendetta's a cool fucking song.
Forgot about Vendetta. Yeah, Vendetta's right. But the tone on this album, we can agree, it was better than Volume 3.
Oh, yeah.
It sounded way better.
Everything.
Yeah.
God, I can't. Now that you bring it up, dude, going back and thinking about that album, God, does it sound terrible.
Does, man? Like, how does this happen? How does you use this like a multi-million-dollar...
Thank God there's some decent tracks on that, because it is awful sounding to me.
You know? I agree. I wanted to touch base on the Vermilion video. Did you remember seeing that? I know you hated the song.
Yeah, probably not.
But it was like stop motion.
Definitely not.
I'm a big fan of that. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the 80s B movie.
It's because that's that Tim Burton type shit, like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, I love that. The book is
because Tool did that
crazy.
too for Sober. Well, they did that for probably a couple of them.
Yeah, probably. God, that's our second time it's mentioned Tool. We got to talk about Tool, man. Well, we can review the album when it comes out, man. August.
Are you sure?
That's what they say. They've confirmed it, man. Danny Carey confirmed it. My final thoughts on Mudvayne is they finished off on the self-titled album. I'm not really sure what went down to bring it to such a dramatic halt. Could it have been that Greg wanted something else? Could it have been that Chad was eyeing the Hell Yeah thing? I don't know where that fell into play.
Did Greg leave Hell Yeah because he wanted to go back and do Mudvayne?
That hasn't been confirmed. That's just what...
Or are they just not getting along?
I heard the internet rumors are that Greg wanted to focus more on Mudvayne and Chad has...
Good idea,
on.
Greg. Just putting that out there.
Right?
But I love Chad, man. I
do too.
I wish I liked Hell Yeah more.
Yeah, it's the thing. That's a whole other separate discussion.
Yes.
You've brought this new wave of American heavy metal dude, and now he's a cowboy, and the alcohol and ass, and way more
God, does that sound forced?
Right? The way more drinking, and you've completely
because that first album
personas.
has some fucking jams on it.
It does. That first Hell Yeah is the holy grail as far as that goes. Well, then the last album that they had done, that Undeniable, had that Moth song on it. I don't know if you've ever heard that. But
I think I listened
really
to it once, but I never finished it.
Okay, it's a big commercial success. They did really, really good with it. And I did want to mention that I researched in 2015. Chad was asked about any possibility of a Mudvayne reunion, and he was quoted by saying, "Unless everybody licked their wounds and got over it." So now it's 2019. Vinnie Paul, God rest his soul, has passed away. They're on a Legacy to Vinnie Paul tour starting pretty soon here, actually.
Called it.
Are we going to see a reincarnation of Mudvayne here in the next 2 years?
God, I hope so.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's been 10 years since they've done anything.
Yeah.
Now is the time to fucking do it.
Now is the time. You're coming off of this big tribute to Vinny, which I believe is a beautiful way to send Hell Yeah off. Mm-hmm. I personally don't want to see Hell Yeah go on.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And maybe that's just the fucking bitter old man in me, just like Gwar. Gwar should not go on. No Brocky, no Gwar. I will say that till the fucking day I die.
That's a hard one to do.
Yes.
I get you.
But
what the fuck are they going to do, man? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
It's true. I guess Gwar can always depend on Riot Fest. They're there every year. Gwar has tried everything they can to stay relevant. It's just that it was Brocky's baby. And that will always be that way. And these fucking people say that Gwar wasn't anything and they didn't have deep shit. Are you fucking kidding me? The whole band is a story. It is a fucking fabrication of existence. You've created your own planet. You've written your songs in the third person.
Dude, what's that one? Beyond Hell? It's like a theme.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. That's a brutal fucking album.
It
dude.
is, man.
Not gonna lie.
That's
I know you want to get into that someday.
We do. We really got to get into Gwar, man, because it is one of the most underrated bands and underrated ideas. Like Dave Brockie, yes, he struggled with his addictions with drugs and alcohol, yada yada. But to be Brocky, man, you fucking didn't know who you were going to interview. When you interviewed Odorous, he was Odorous. There was no cameras going off and, all right, it's me, Dave, again. I'm going to sit in here. It was Brocky, and that is the most beautiful fucking thing ever. that is attention to your craft, man.
Sounds awesome.
Hey man, that's a real nice guitar, man.
Empire Records, but I really, I honest to God, I don't know if I'd want to hear new Mudvayne. Of course I would, but like getting back out there, like let's get out there and do what Cold Chamber did. Let's do what American Head Charge did. Go back out there,
see what the reaction is.
Yep, test it.
Fair
You'll
enough.
sell the fuck out. All those venues.
Yep. You count us in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay for that shit.
Absolutely, man.
So where do you want to go with this?
So,
because for me, it's a sweep. I'm only going to count the 4 because I don't know enough about these last 2.
Yeah.
So for me, it's all Mudvayne.
Yeah, I'm going with Mudvayne, man.
In all fairness, we tried to get Red here.
Yeah.
We got this party we're about to head to for Ivan. I do want to get their takes on everything. We could always bring them back and get their, their ideas, thoughts,
Sure.
and shit. So maybe we'll do a part 2 to this. But let's. What do you want to do? How do you want to close this?
I guess what I'll do.
Obviously, you got to talk about the new shit.
We have to talk about the new shit. What I do want to say is Slipknot lost it for me midway through Volume 3. That is when I realized that this is the direction that they were heading in, and it was very clear. It's going to be one of those heavy crossover PG-13. I'm kind of edgy, but enough to make your parents comfortable to bring you to the show. But I'm also going to make millions and millions of dollars off of this, Mudvayne, man, it's an empty chapter that I hope that gets filled.
Waiting to hear something.
Absolutely. Obviously, we had known that recently Chris had left the band with Slipknot, some legal issues going on. From what he was saying in interviews, basically Sean and Corey are running the show, which is very disappointing to hear.
Dude, but yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Not at all. But you know what? I remember that people were talking shit about Slayer when it became the Tom and Carrie show. So now it's the Corey and Sean show, essentially. Sean was quoted recently by telling somebody when they asked about who the new member was none of your fucking business. Are you kidding me?
All right, dude. You know what? Hold on. Because I want to come back to that.
Yeah.
Because before that, the story was talking about Corey and how he feels like the villain. Like everybody's turned on him.
Right.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You guys are the biggest fucking band in the world.
Right.
There's a lot of people that are just going to say shit just to say shit.
Right.
Everybody's hanging on every fucking word you say. You know what I mean? So at this point, I just mean, I think like you got to understand, like you have this power with you. No matter what the fuck you do, you are the face of what a rock star is nowadays.
Right.
You're our fucking most popular dude. You're the face of metal right now.
Right. So
everything you say is going to be taken out of context and all this shit. And like, you're going to play the victim now.
Right.
His quote was, "If you want a villain, I'll give you a villain." It should have been like, "If you want a victim, I'll play the victim."
Right.
I don't know what the fuck you're whining about, dude.
Exactly. He's in the media every day. He's on all the big name guys' sites all the time. He has had countless book tours, speaking tours, like fucking Henry Rollins. You know what I mean?
He had this thing where it's like, I thought having your own opinion was cool. I was like, it is, but you can't just think like you're gonna talk into a vacuum, dude. Everybody's got a fucking opinion.
Exactly.
You're not the only dude that dislikes fucking Trump.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna get some fucking blowback, dude. You either stand by your fucking convictions or you don't.
I really used to think that he was an interesting guy, and I still do. I just think he's just very condescending with his opinions and comes across as really.
I think he's gotten weak.
You think so? Yeah.
He used to imagine this 10, 15 years ago. You think he would have been as butthurt then as he is now about shit? I mean, obviously everything's more blown out of proportion because of how big they are, but they had that attitude where they don't give a fuck.
Yep.
And like this whole clown thing, he always seems like he's got shitty things to say about people.
He does.
That's what it feels like to me.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole, it doesn't matter. It's none of your fucking business who it is. Motherfucker, you wonder why people are saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know who cares about who that fucking guy is? The fucking fans, asshole.
Right.
So when you're telling them it's none of their fucking business, how do you think that's supposed to make them feel?
Right.
I'm not even a big fucking fan. I read that shit and I was like, fuck you, clown. I don't give a shit about who it is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Is this just gonna fucking sit in the background, hit a fucking snare anyway? It's nobody's business. People are invested in the fucking band, you cocksucker. I'm a little bad. He'll probably beat me up. Don't worry about it. But
it's the person who cares is the person that just paid $50 for a lawn ticket to see you guys. You know,
Bloated
it's not like it
ego-ass
was
bitches.
Ghost, where Ghost was the respectful anonymous stuff.
It's like, they had to earn their stripes, the last two guys.
Right.
It's like he wasn't being a dickhead about it. It's like it was a fun little game. You can try and figure it out. Now all of a sudden it's just nobody's fucking business.
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself. Seriously.
Yeah, I was not a fan of that, seeing that. Not at all. And that attitude doesn't work anymore, man.
No,
But-
you're the fucking biggest band there. There's no fucking... What do you think's going to happen?
right.
Yeah.
People
I'm so
are
tired of this shit, dude.
Yeah, the attitude is not. It's not needed, man.
Go fuck yourself.
Let me see here. What else did I write here? Mudvayne was really onto something with but the last push did them in. The success of commercialized sound just might have been the Achilles heel, as I had said before. When they ditched the makeup as well, it didn't mean anything to me, but it probably didn't help. I think that too kind of had to lick it up vibe, maybe. I firmly believe Slipknot rose up with them out of the way. What do you feel about that?
What do you mean?
Slipknot had more success because they had less people in the same shock rock genre.
I don't think it would have mattered.
You don't think so? You know what else I put in here? It's not like Mushroomhead was ever a credible threat to either band. And that hurt me. That really hurt me to my core.
Ooh.
Commercially
No.
speaking, never were even on the radar.
That's crazy because I think Mushroomhead's better than Slipknot in every way. And there are people that take their fucking... Now, you want to talk about masks? Those masks are fucking increased. Like, those are fucking well thought out, well done. Not fucking Jughead, fucking Corey Taylor.
So let's talk about this. Tom Savini, master of horror.
It's like I told you. He's Gus Van Sant and fucking Jay and Silent Bob, where he's just sitting in the other room counting the money. He's like, yeah, that looks good, Corey. Keep it up, buddy. Maybe you should paint your face underneath it so nobody can tell. Or maybe wear a bandana. 100, 200, 300.
Disappointing, man. Disappointing to say the
V-Man
least.
has the coolest fucking mask.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
Yeah.
Jim, it's the same shit. Fine, whatever. I always liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Mick, he hasn't changed a fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then fucking Emperor Palpatine is
Sid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody else that nobody really knows or cares about.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Drummers is kind of essentially changed. Jay. I'm interested to hear the drums on this new album because if you remember when we had talked about the Grade chapter, I wasn't like a huge fan of how his style was because it was kind of like making it to be like Joey's, but I felt it was sloppy. So I'm interested to hear.
if you never told me anything, like if I was just in a cave for like the last 10 years and you showed me a picture of Joey in 08 and like a picture like from the video of today, I would have thought it was the same dude.
Yeah. Short stature, really skinny, fast. Interesting, man. I don't know, man. It's like you said, it's kind of hard because it was just with the two of us to get Red and Ivan in on this too.
That would have probably been a 3-hour episode.
No, absolutely, absolutely. But that's kind of our opinion. We're sticking to it.
I expect more out of Slipknot. That's bullshit, man.
Yeah.
I'm so
agree.
fucking tired of this baby ass attitude.
Yeah. So it doesn't work in 2019. 70s and 80s, it worked. You kind of had that. You weren't out there as often in the media. Like you said, no one's hanging on every single word. Every single Instagram post you see with Corey has got like, thousands and thousands of likes and comments and this and that. He's in the spotlight. Like, where on earth did you feel that the people turned against you? Oh, was it when they were selling out arenas when you were playing with Stone Sour?
Yeah.
Come
I'm
on.
sorry. All the people that didn't like you anyway has a bad opinion about you. Oh shit. How the fuck do we survive?
I don't know.
Oh man, we better go after fucking Chad Kroger.
Oh yeah, exactly. And I mean, Jesus, that guy is knows how to write a song, knows how to stay relevant. I don't enjoy Nickelback, but like millions of people do. It's tired. The Nickelback joke is just tired, man. Oh,
Hey, you can say what you want, dude. I've heard some of them Stone Sour songs, and it's absolutely true. Fucking, what's that? God, I can't remember. It's the stars.
Oh
the
gosh.
stars. Tell me that's
the
not
mirror
fucking.
one.
That's not closely related to fucking like. Look at this photograph.
Exactly.
Fucking
Nickelback
cheese dick
album.
songs. It don't matter who the fuck wrote it. It's a cheese dick song.
You
And I don't even entirely hate it,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big fan of it.
I know you guys think I'm a real dick cheeseburger, but I guess to close out on the final thoughts, I did want to give a shout out to the band called Angel Maker. There is a new album out by them that just came out on May 31st. And it is, trying to look here. I think it's actually just self-titled. You should check it out. If you guys are into anything super heavy and grindy and breakdowny and chuggy, I know I'm talking to the audience, not Jake here. You should check it out because it completely blew me away this past week. So.
Well, there's a couple bands we checked out that wasn't that into.
Yeah.
The last couple, but coming up, we're probably gonna do that Whitechapel album review if we ever get everybody fucking together.
Eventually.
But I didn't think I'd like it, but I like it. It's probably because he's singing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So take it or leave it. I don't give a shit.
Okay, Sean. All right,
it's none of your fucking business what I like.
Exactly. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will stay up to date on everything news as we always do, and we will see you hopefully soon.
Well, hey, also, I'd like to do this shit if we ever speak out of turn. Motherfuckers can send us some corrections and their opinions and shit. You could hit us up at wastedattention@gmail.com. Just type in corrections or opinions. I don't give a shit. Give us some fucking feedback.
Yeah. Send us some
YouTube comments, like, subscribe. Do all that shit. Fuck it.
Even some blueberry muffin recipes would be appreciated. Or cinnamon crumble. We enjoy that.
But other than that, we're out, bitches.
Take care.